Silversun Pickups.
Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time.
Yes, it's been a while since I have played their music. Let's change that. Hey people, and hello Chilli Con Carnage Crew, it's Chilli from Live Listen Erase, bringing you this 5-minute review episode on Silversun Pickups' newest album, Physical Thrills. This is the band's 6th album, and I have to say, it's a ballsy move to make your first song to the album a slow-paced track. Usually a band want to make their openers to be loud, fast, and have a hook to bring you in to hear more of their album. But the first track here, Stillness Way Beyond, is their antithesis to this thought process. It's a slow track that is, however, mesmerizing in its style. The bass simply plods along with sporadic acoustic chords accompanying the vocals, but what works the best here is probably the drums, which are very tight and don't offer too much variation until about the halfway point, lining up with the song's title. Hey, if it worked with Jimmy Eat World's Clarity, then it can work elsewhere too, can't it? And I believe it does so here. This continues over to their next track, Sticks and Stones, to which it is a mostly stripped down acoustic track that feels like the band took cues from Alt J and then added some orchestral movements in the final half of the song. It's a fairly decent track, but not really my jam. To be honest, I'm not sure if the album really kicks off per se, and that's really due in part to the band's style. I mean, the following song, Hereafter, Way After, does feel like the band going for their big sound, but for most of the part, it's a fairly laid-back album. The production is pretty slick, but this is what we can expect when Butch Vig is at the helm, joining Silversun Pickups for the second time. It's not over-polished and it's not raw either. It's where the band need to be in terms of their production. Interestingly, the song Dream at Tempo X makes a return 3 times on this album, serving as a break between a few tracks, with tempos 50, 310 and 150 finishing off the album. And I might not be the biggest musical expert, but I'm pretty sure that the 310 tempo track is incorrect, and it just sounds closer to a 210 beats per minute. But I'm probably splitting hairs here. After all, these are short musical interlude tracks, so let's not go in too in-depth. The songs on this release may have drifted away from their earlier sounds, but are more in line than other recent outings, I feel, which saw the band experiment more and go into the grounds of electronica rock. It's also nice to hear bass player Nicky take lead vocals on the somber piece Alone on the Hill, which adds quite a different dimension to the band's music. Of the tracks I've listened to, the one that I feel most at odds with is the jarring Hidden Moon track, with its staccato bass line, which is very prominent in this song. It just feels like it stops and starts too many times and it just can't get into a groove. The band's style is akin to a few genres such as indie rock and old rock, but I want to discuss their influences to shoegazer. This genre has been around for a long time now, with the best example being My Bloody Valentine's Loveless album, of course. And it has swung back and forth between being a genre that can lead to being a bit out of fashion, I suppose. It's been a while since the last wave of shoegazer took off, roughly in the early to mid 2000s, but I feel it has the right style and timing to work again now, in a kind of renaissance of the scene. It feels good to hear the Silversun Pickups after all this time. It's like a breath of fresh air, especially considering lately I have been pumping Machine Head, Soulfly and The Chats. While I can't say it's the band of old, it's a band that has evolved. I stopped listening to them shortly after Neck of the Woods came out, due to the change in style in the band. This album might not make you grow a fringe and want to stare at the floor while flicking your head back and forth to get said hair out of the way, and believe me, I wish I could, but it's a small nod to their earlier days. Almost an homage, as if to say, this is how far we've come, and kudos Silversun Pickups for doing so. I'm in a bit of a mixed bag when it comes to this album. At times I feel it's great, but at other times it can feel a bit too indulgent, I guess. Overall, it's still a pretty good album, and I would give it 3,500,000 chilies on the spicy scale, with my favourite tracks being Alone on a Hill, We Won't Come Out, and Stay Down, Way Down. Seriously, it has been a bit of a nostalgia trip playing through Silversun Pickups' back catalogue, similar in vein to when I did a review on the White Lie's most recent album. But it has been a fun ride regardless. I hope you have enjoyed this episode, and everyone out there, make sure to stay spicy and do the subscription things and all that social stuff. Have a great day. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Live Listener Race, and if you have enjoyed this episode, make sure you share it with all your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our Chilli Con Carnage Crew so you can get notified for all the future videos that we put out, as we put out videos every Friday. Also, we are on Discord, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter over at Live Listener Race, so make sure to tune in over there. And don't forget to like this video so that our manager can stay very happy.